You're sitting in a room, and behind one of the walls there's a man who has a bunch of fresh ingredients. In the wall that separates you, there's a small hole through which he can only give you one single ingredient at a time. He doesn't talk to you, and you can't see all the ingredients he has. You just have to figure out what you're going to cook. This is a metaphor about the creation of ideas. If you replace your ingredients with a pure idea, then your finished meal is your finished book, film, shelf, painting, toilet, whatever. It's a great metaphor. So great, in fact, that one part of it isn't metaphorical at all. The wall between the two rooms is real, and it exists inside every one of us. And so today, I, Tim Carlier, writer, director, producer, actor, editor, cinematographer, Bob Ross impersonator, and grip, will endeavour to find out what lies behind the wall in this documentary, where I first started this journey after not having any good ideas for a while. It's what we in the industry call a rut. So I decided to look further into this metaphor and see if it could help me. The only ingredients I'd received recently were this, and this. This is barely enough for a decent omelette. So I set out to find out more about this wall and how I could get more ideas across it. This wall has a name. It's called the Zeffels Field, named after the person who invented it, Dr. Heffel Zeffel. He discovered it one day while trying to come up with a good idea for some science, but none were forthcoming. So he posited that there must be something blocking the ideas, because surely all original ideas already exist, trapped behind some kind of field. A Zeffels Field. He was mocked by much of the scientific community. However, the theory persisted. There must be some kind of field blocking the good ideas, and some kind of hole which was letting them through. This was called the Denton's Door, named after the scientist who discovered it, Trenton Denton. He discovered it while studying meditation and was told by a monk about this doorway where ideas could be found. He then named it after himself. Everyone's Zeffels Field exists with a Denton door, but the size of the door changes adjusting to your own mental state. Many people try to force ideas or are stressed about having to come up with ideas. This can make the door so small that nothing gets through. So how do you make the door bigger? Some theorists decided it could be done manually, and just before Dr. Cranberry Newton was sent to prison, he conducted experimental brain surgery on his lab assistant to try it out. It did not work. I conducted an interview with scientist Plopella de Grunk to find out why.
The Zeffels Field can barely be expected to be tangible. I mean, it's not like everyone has a magical box of ideas in their head. The thought is ludicrous. No, it is instead a metaphysical realm which exists within the subconscious.
Can you explain that further?
No.
Thank you. It seemed like this could be a dead end. But I haven't been moping around all isolation making bread. Instead, I built a machine inside my parents' shed. A machine which will project my Zeffels Field and Denton's door onto this doorway, large enough that I can walk through. The machine is powered by these pipes, which drag water all the way from the ocean up to the machine, using its natural energy to amplify my consciousness. To get the machine working, I have to wear this helmet, which transfers my metaphysical brainwaves through the machine and onto the shed door, allowing the Denton's door to appear. And then I could simply walk through it. However, I can't do that while wearing the helmet, as I'll likely implode. So, I built a clone. This was surprisingly easy. Following a WikiHow guide, I made an exact replica of myself in only 2 days. Where it got complicated was the legalities of there being 2 of me. We signed a contract stating that he wouldn't try to kill me and take over my life, while I allowed him to have his own unique name as well as some of my credits. Now the process can begin, and we can find out where ideas really come from.